Hey, what's up guys? Lightsaber Samurai here. I'm back again for another video. We are still in the studio doing the setup of the place here, and I told you in the last video that I had to give up my game room, at least for now, and this is more of like a YouTube studio situation, but I still have one shelf here that has about 100 or so games on it. And so when I set this place up, I told myself I was just gonna get the games that I was going to play the most and have those set up, and that's what we'll be using. But something interesting happened when I was selecting the games. So in this video I wanted to talk about comfort games. Waves and Games and some other creators I think talked about this subject about a year ago now. Just those games you keep coming back to, despite the fact that I have 1,200 games in my collection, despite the fact that I have like 250 games in my backlog. These games I just keep playing over and over again regardless. So in this video we are going to talk about some of my favorite comfort games. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Okay, so here's the stack of games here. I'm just going to go over these super quick. Again, these aren't all of the comfort games that I play, but these are some of the most frequent titles that I keep going back to. If I just want to get a game in real fast, I'll sit down, pick up and play for a few minutes and leave completely satisfied. That's kind of what I'm talking about when I play a comfort game. Or if I just want to sit down for an afternoon and I don't really know what to play, or I can't really decide, I'll pick some of these to you know, as just sort of my go-to. So starting off the list here, starting off with the PS1, we've got Omega Boost. This game is brought to us by Polyphony Digital. We've talked about this on the Hidden Gems episode before. I really like this game. It's a cross between something like Zone of the Enders and Panzer Dragoon, in my opinion. It's kind of on rails, kind of not. While it is on rails, you kind of got like 360-degree movement. You play as this robot pilot who's gone back into the past to stop this AI from taking over the future, yada yada yada. The graphics on this are absolutely fantastic. The production values on this was really high. It just came out kind of toward the end of the PlayStation 1's life. Everybody was kind of looking toward PS2 by the time this one came out, and I got this for $5 some years back on the cheap. But now I think last time I checked it was hovering around the $40 mark, which is still not bad considering this is a great game. I just pop it in and play it until I either beat the game or die, and you know, this game will take you just a couple of hours to get through top. So it's not a super long game, but it is a thrilling game while it lasts. So moving on now, one of the Dreamcast games I wanted to talk about. This is one I keep coming back to. It's Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles. This is a game that I had a blast with as a kid. I played this originally on the PlayStation 1 and played it with my brothers all the time. You could do like 2-player co-op, and that was absolutely fantastic. The Dreamcast version came out a little after, and this was the definitive version, giving us some better sound and graphics. Although I do prefer the PlayStation controller over the Dreamcast controller, but like I said, I usually pick this up again, play it until I beat it or die, or if I just got a couple of minutes, I'll play it and just run through the first level, slash up some droids, and walk off completely satisfied. Moving on to the PS2 now, and like I said, when it comes to these pick up and play games, I like hack and slash, I like beat 'em ups and fighting games, and I also like racing games, and there are a bunch of great games on the PS2. My favorite though, one of my favorites anyway, happens to be Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. This is a kind of definitive edition of Outrun 2 that we got on like the OG Xbox. The 2006 Coast to Coast, they added like a bunch of extra tracks on it, and just they've got the whole base game, plus they added a bunch of extra stuff, and so this is the best version of Outrun 2 to grab, unless of course you get it on the Xbox One. If you get 2006 Coast to Coast on the Xbox. I think it's got a little better graphical fidelity and sound with the Dolby 5.1 and all that stuff. However, that version of the game is somewhere upwards of $250, whereas you can get Outrun 2 Coast to Coast on the PS2 as well as the PSP for well under $100. So one of those rare cases where the Xbox version costs more than the PS2 version. But yeah, you can't go wrong with any version of Outrun. It's a nice arcade racer, so you just got huge power slides and collecting points and running to racing to get those time extensions and all of that. It's just like old school racing at its best, and this is one of the best when it comes to that. On the PS3 now, again, I really like playing fighting games. When it comes to a comfort game or something that I just pick up and play, fighting games are really good for that when you're playing by yourself or with a friend. And one of my favorites on the PS3 is Tekken Hybrid. This is basically a remastered version of the fantastic Tekken Tag Tournament, which is still probably my favorite Tekken game in the series. And again, this is the definitive version of it. It comes with Tekken Blood Vengeance, which is this kind of like 3D movie that they made. It's okay, but I got this for Tekken Hybrid. It's got everything that the original Tekken Tag Tournament had, as well as a couple of new additions on that. You got a demo to Tekken Tag Tournament 2 as well packed into this, and this is just a really good addition of a really good fighting game. On to the Xbox One now, and I usually don't pick up my Xbox One games, at least as far as like my Xbox One exclusives, like for pick up and play. But for me, one of the best games on the Xbox One and one of the best pick up and play games in general is Rare Replay. I absolutely love Rare Replay. I did not own the N64 as a kid because we went the PlayStation 1 route, and so it was nice to see some of the N64's best Rare games, as well as a bunch of other games in Rare's history, all on one disc. And I mean, again, this is a fantastic compilation with a bunch of Rare's older arcade titles. So again, if I want to pick up something like Solar Jetman or something like that and pick it up real quick and play it, I can do that. Or if I want a more if I want a longer experience, if I want to play like some Banjo-Kazooie or some Perfect Dark or something like that, again, it's all on here. You got 30 games packed onto this with a bunch of add-ons and features, behind the scenes stuff, and the presentation is awesome. So again, this is still a pretty cheap game to have on the Xbox One, and it's an exclusive. So if you own an Xbox One, this is a must-have title for the system, and this is a fantastic game to keep coming back to again and again. Okay, gonna finish up these selections with some Xbox 360 now, starting off with another fantastic racing game. I love the Burnout series. I've been playing the Burnout series since it started on the PS2, and again, when it comes to just fun pick up and play arcade style racers, you'd be hard pressed to find a better series than Burnout. My favorite in the Burnout series is actually Burnout Revenge on the Xbox 360, and this also came out on 6th gen consoles as well. They had planned a PS3 version of this, but it didn't get released. So the only HD version of Burnout Revenge is on the Xbox 360. It looks phenomenal, sounds phenomenal. It's fun and fast paced. The crash mode is one of the last games that has like a proper crash mode to it. And so all in all, Burnout Revenge, again, my favorite in the series, and this is my favorite version of my favorite game of the series. So if you see this one, I think nowadays this one's kind of upwards to like $25, but still, it's not bad. This is a great game with a lot of great content. This is a game that you can pick up, do a couple of play crash mode for like 5 minutes and walk away satisfied, or you can really spend an afternoon unlocking cars, unlocking features, and just really dive into it. So again, a must-have racer and one that I keep constantly coming back to. Okay, and finishing off this list today. On the Xbox 360, man, it's the Fallout series, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. I don't know what it is. I just keep coming back to these games over and over and over again. They take place in the post-apocalypse, 200 or so odd years after a nuclear apocalypse, and the world is still slowly trying to get it together. I've played through each of these games. I've sank between the two. I've sank probably close to 800 to 1,000 hours into these over the years. I absolutely love these. I'm always playing these. If it's a rainy day or if I'm just chilling, relaxing, I'm always popping in Fallout just to dive back in and just wander the waste and just I love the role-playing RPG experience, so it seems like I'm really just living in a part of that world. And yeah, there's not enough good things to say about Fallout. I'm waiting for some more. And yeah, that's just it. I mean, the base game was super long. They've got tons of DLC. The standard playthrough of this game, including the DLC, will probably take you upwards to about 100 or so hours if you just went straight through. But like I said, I love just walking off the beaten path, finding all the unmarked quests, and like I said, just living my life in the wasteland. Like it's a really, really, really good game. Both of them are. And so yeah, like I said, my favorite comfort games, my favorite pickup games are definitely Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Okay, so I do believe that's all I got for you, but let's talk about it in the comment section below. Questions, comments, concerns, threats. What are some of your favorite comfort games or just some of your favorite pick up and play games? If you guys like this content, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, you'll be glad you did. I do believe that's all I got for you. Lightsaber Samurai out. Peace.